Hi, my name is Jess Schmitling, and I am the Director of Extreme Softball. I have Alexa Potts here with me, former alum, coach, lead trainer, and we're excited to share with you all that's happening with our 9th year of our network training season. So why network training?
Do you want the short answer or the long answer?
The long answer.
Long answer. Well, short answer is to close the developmental gap. The long answer, just have a unique perspective being a former player in the program pre-network training, and then being a part of the process as a coach when we were actually developing network training. And just for us being out on the playing field, we noticed a gap in our training. We went to the drawing board, and that's where network training came about, 2015. We got to the drawing board and just drew out what would it look like to include training within our club experience. And here we are 9 years later, getting better every single year.
So you use the phrase of close the gap. So can you tell us more about what the overall goal of network is through closing the gap?
Yeah, when you think about club teams, you think about the on-field experience, the games, the tournaments. Well, adding network training in brings that developmental, that training piece to it. So now we can marry the two, versus being separated and people having to have a club experience, a team experience, and then go independently and find their own training. Now we're bringing them together with unified resources, and we're all working as a team. So athlete, coach, trainer, family, we're all on the same mission, trying to develop the kids, which is ultimately going to make them better competitors out on the ball field.
All right, so you said that we work together as one team through this environment. Do you feel like that's what sets us apart when we talk about network training?
Yeah, I think the environment is incredible. I mean, just seeing everybody work together as one team, truly investing in the athletes and wanting to see them grow and develop, that is absolutely what sets us apart. But I think other pieces is one, just our curriculum, the way that we spend time on curriculum. Our leaders devote weekly time to building curriculum that builds week to week, and it's appropriate to each developmental tier that we have within our program.
So when you say developmental tiers of curriculum, not everybody's going to get the same thing.
No, actually, our trainers do a really good job of meeting each team where they're at, because every team's different, and they study week to week, and they choose the curriculum that makes sense for that team, and they're always willing to adjust. We're adjustable people, and our trainers do a good job of being growth-minded, not being stuck in one certain way. We will readjust if we need to, and I just believe that the way that our trainers approach the training and just their teaching of relevant concepts to the game, that just absolutely sets us apart, and it gets the most out of our athletes.
So if I'm an athlete walking into network training, what can I expect when I get there?
You're going to see a lot of systems. You're going to see failure. Failure is good for us. We are here to challenge you. Fun competition, of course, friendly too. And then just athlete-driven and also guided freedom.
So what is guided freedom?
Guided freedom, as our athletes grow older, and just we want to leverage them and grow them up to be independent leaders and of their own journey. And so we will actually train our athletes to start to learn how to run a training session on their own with the support of the trainers. We're not going to leave the cage or anything, but we're going to be right there to be with them and go through it with them. But ultimately, as they grow old, we want them to drive it. We want them to own their journey, and a part of that is teaching them to drive their development and learn how to lead in that setting.
So you talked a lot about what the environment looks like when they get here. Then how can you help give feedback on how athletes can be most successful in that environment?
I think the first thing is show up. The second thing is show up and be coachable. The third thing is show up, be coachable, and be ready to work. And then the fourth thing is show up outside of the training environment. You got to get extra reps in. It's not just a one-stop, I'm coming for my weekly to-do and I'm checking it off the list. You have to get those reps outside of our training sessions as well, and that's really where you're going to see the most growth.
And do you feel like those reps outside of the training environment can be done on their own, or do athletes need to be looking to have additional support outside of network training?
I think the intended goal is that there's, again, that guided freedom piece, that they're able to be in a network training setting, take those drills with them and go get that, duplicate them, get that muscle memory, as most would say, But however, with that being said, we do offer additional tutoring for athletes who maybe are struggling to catch on to a concept, or maybe they're a little bit behind. And that's a absolutely healthy way to add on training. But again, the intended goal is that athletes can progress in our network training environment at a really steady rate. And if needed, we have that additional support outside of there.
So what do you love most about network training?
Just the relationships, the connections. I mean, it is just so fun as you go on throughout the winter, seeing kids come in, you learn their names, you learn about them outside of softball and baseball, and it just brings a smile to your face, and you just build this really unique connection, and it's unlike anything else that I've ever felt. It even kind of goes into the spring and summer season when we don't see our athletes as much. They maybe come into the facility, and it's just a fun time to connect with them because of the relationship that we've built throughout the training season.
All right, so give us one final piece of encouragement heading into training this year.
This is going to be the best network training season yet.
Are you ready?